Hi everyone, it's Kate, and today's video is going to be my November budget follow-up. If you haven't seen my November budget with me video from the beginning of the month, I will link that up in the cards above so you can take a look at that before the follow-up if you're interested. So I've got my cheat sheet over to the side here with all of my actual numbers, so I'm just going to go ahead, zoom you guys in, and get started. Okay, for my salary for November, I did make a change, so this went up a tiny bit. I stopped contributing to my 401k at work, so my weekly paycheck went up just a little bit. So the actual number for my salaried income was $4,160.25. For Caffeinated Kate, my shop income for November was way higher than expected. I drastically underestimated the power of Black Friday. So my total amount that I was able to pay myself for November was $2,500, which was huge this month. And then for miscellaneous, we had a couple of other random bits of income, which I will explain a little bit more in depth as we go through the video, and that came to $320. So for our total for income, we have $6,980.25. This is far and away the most I've ever earned in a month in my entire life. So this was a very exciting month for me, and we made a lot of great progress on our credit card this month. So moving down to fixed expenses, everything here was as planned. If you want a little more detail, feel free to watch my November budget with me. For grocery and household, actually let me get my red and green pens because I'll do that in just a second. So for grocery and household, we didn't stay under budget, but we didn't do too bad either. The total amount was $319.64. Oops. So we were over by $19.64, which isn't too bad. For gas and auto, we have $183.03. Now, technically, we went up in this category, or we went over in this category, but I split out one line item into a separate category that normally I would have a sinking fund for, but we're not really doing sinking funds just now, so I just broke it out so I could kind of explain it a little bit more in depth. So this one we actually stayed under by $16.97. For home maintenance, this one was awesome. We actually spent nothing. I'm not sure how that happened because we always go way over in this category. So we were under budget by $200, which is great. Oops, sorry, I just realized you guys aren't totally in frame for everything. For gifts, let's see, this month we had my friend's wedding, which was $100. My nephew's birthday, he just turned 3, so he also has 2 brothers, so they didn't really want a bunch of toys, but we did just get him something small from Walmart. And then we also did a Christmas shoebox. So for the total for this month, we actually stayed under in this category as well. The final number was $129.45. $2,249. So this one we stayed under by $20.51. And guys, this is probably the most green I've ever seen on one of my budget follow-ups so far, but trust me, we'll make up for it. That is coming up soon. Personal, I explain in my December budget with me that this is kind of a catch-all category for any discretionary spending, but this one's going to take some explaining. For personal, our total number was $463.74. So the biggest reason for this was that my husband, Joe, he and his brothers, well, one brother went in on a Black Friday deal for a Nintendo Switch. So he purchased the Switch, and then his brother gave him $160, which is part of this this miscellaneous income here, which cancels out some of this, but the Switch, even our half of it, was obviously not planned for. But considering I was kind of already doing really well on sales at that point of the day, I let him go ahead and do that. We decided to get it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm going to use it as well whenever I happen to have some free time. But yeah, that was the big one for this month. This was our big, I don't want to say mistake or big oopsie, but the budget buster, I guess. So for cell phones, this actually came in at $60, and that puts us over by 5. For internet, that was as budgeted, so $91.98, and just gonna put a line there. So here are the extra things that happened this month that I didn't necessarily plan for all of them or put them into the budget at the beginning of the month. So when we switched our cell phone plans, right now we're on Cricket, and you pay ahead of the month that you use. And our previous plan was with Sprint, where apparently we were paying after using the service for a month. So we got another Sprint charge for the month leading up to the cancellation, which I didn't plan for. I really should have expected it, but for some reason I didn't. So that was $88.26. And let's see. So since our regular tithe over on this fixed category is based off of the salaried income from my regular job, over here in the variable expenses, I'm going to put the extra tithe that we paid for this side hustle income. And I just realized that I didn't account for on paper the increased paycheck, but I did adjust our weekly auto draft from $82 a week to $84 a week. So let me back up and explain that. We have an auto pay every single week when I get paid for our tithe. So previously, before my 401, when I was contributing to 401k, $82 a week was going automatically to our church. When we got our first paycheck that did not have my 401k contribution, so it was a higher paycheck, I went on and adjusted that auto pay to $84. So we did pay the extra amount, but I forgot to account for that in this number. So I had everything already mapped out, but now those numbers aren't going to be quite right. How many? I think there were 3 payments that we did with the increased amount, so that would have only been $6. So that shouldn't throw my numbers off too much. Okay, so tithe over here. Sorry about that really long-winded explanation for something that's not overly complicated. I put $250 in for the side hustle, so we'll put $256. And then this wasn't necessarily over because I was planning on it. It's not going over budget, it's just that this was a variable. For auto maintenance is another line item that I'm going to add here. Normally, if it was something small, I would just lump it into this gas and auto category. However, this was a slightly bigger expense, so I'm going to break it out just so that I have it for kind of record keeping. My husband went to go take his Jeep for an inspection and an oil change, and his Jeep uses synthetic oil, so it was an expensive oil change. So that came to $89.02. And hopefully sometime in the future we will have an auto maintenance sinking fund. So we were over by $89.02 for that. And then the last item that I decided to add onto here, again, I went over this a little bit in my December budget with me, but my daughter goes to ballet once a week, and that is $30 a month. Her grandmother actually pays for it, so I wasn't recording it here. She'll pay me and then I'll pay the dance studio. So it does get paid for, and it, zeroes itself out, so I wasn't really recording it, but I decided to start putting it in here just for my own reference. So that technically, again, wasn't an overage. This is just an adjustment to my record keeping. So for the total variable spending this month, we have, and I have to remember not to write down exactly what I have on my cheat sheet. I've got to add $6. So that was $1,675. So $81.60, if we can fit that there. So we went over by quite a bit. Some of it was covered in being paid back for the switch. Some of it was being paid for dance, so that was covered. And yeah, we did, go over kind of significantly, but our income more than made up for it, so that is okay. It's something we can live with. So going into our totals for the income, we had 6980.25. For fixed expenses, $2,025.12. And then for our variable, that was $1,681.60. So what we are left with at the end is $3,276.70. $73. It was $79 originally. $73.53. So this was really awesome. We made great strides towards paying down our credit card, which I will move to next. So our starting balance at the beginning of November was $11,596.08. For spending, we had $902.35 of spending on the card. Some of that was interest payment, or the interest charge on the card. A big chunk of it was that Nintendo Switch, and some of it was like the Sprint charge, which auto billed the credit card, and I didn't realize that. Number one, it still had the credit card information to auto bill, and number two, that it was going to bill it at all. So anyway, we made up for it in payments. We paid $364.56 off on the card. This little $10.79, by the way, is like cashback rewards that I applied to the balance. Oops, that's supposed to be a period. And then our ending balance, by the way, there will be a discrepancy here because I go to the actual credit card account and look at the balance there, but then I get the the activity on the card, the spending and the payments, from my budgeting software, YNAB. So there might be like a day or two off that causes the discrepancy, but it's close enough. And the reality is that I did have it paid down on the last day of November, down to $9,000. So, and I actually have this little chart on our fridge. Oh my gosh, there's a hair. So anytime I pay off a certain amount, I mark it with the date just to kind of show the progress that we're making and be encouraged by that. Okay, yeah, so down here in the notes, I just have like my payments to myself from my shop, and then the extra money that came in noted down there. So that basically covers the month. I'm going to zoom you guys back out so you can see it. I hope you enjoyed this video, or at least found it helpful and informative in some way. If you did enjoy, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And if you are new here, I'd love it if you would subscribe so you can stay updated with all of my new videos. If you are interested in following me on Instagram to stay up to date with everything that I post on my channel and in my shop, you can find the link to my Instagram down below as well. You can also find information on the products that I use and some referral links. I have a $10 off coupon that you can use for your first purchase on erinconjun.com, as well as a referral link to YNAB, which is the budgeting software that I use. I'm thinking about doing a video on YNAB, so let me know in the comments if you guys want to see something like that, and I will try to make that this month. Thank you for watching. I hope you have an awesome December, and I will see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.